Hey folks, welcome to the Raw review, October 15th. Let's get into this review. I'm going to do most of the backstages and what happened in the ring first before the matches. So the first one I'm going to do is about CM Punk. Let's put it like this. CM Punk does some good stick. And camera's cooking, there you go. And he basically did his little stick for Paul Heyman in the background holding up the championship, saying basically, I deserve respect. I made my choice, but you know what, I think maybe I'll change my mind because of your attitude, and now I'll do it later. We have McMahon coming out, and McMahon did a great job saying, you know what, I'm taking this away from you. The contract signing is going to be done, and then you know who you're dealing with. It's either going to be Cena or RYBACK. Now, the backstages behind that was the first one with Punk and Heyman clearly said, ladies and gentlemen, he warned CM Punk that this was going to happen with the bureaucracy of the WWE. Punk gets so pissed off, he basically says, you know what, I beat the shit out of this old man before, I'm going to do it again. Tell him I want another challenge. Tell him I want to challenge him for a rematch. I'm sorry about that. And he goes, and this is Heyman, goes over to McMahon, and he clearly says to McMahon, you know what, my client basically says, you are a well, my client doesn't really say that. That's my mistake. Sorry, he doesn't say that. He basically says that McMahon is a Herculean man, that he is an amazing, capable man, and tries to kiss his ass to get what he wants. McMahon doesn't go for it. The little pitch that Heyman said to him, McMahon said, okay, you want me to match Punk again, and if he wins, he gets a chance to choose? All right, but I'm not going up against Punk. I'm going against you. And Heyman says, no, I don't want that. And he clearly kicked his ass out of his office saying, get out. I never get bored of that voice. And you're fired. Kiss my ass. No one does it better than Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He does it good. Now I'm going to leave it at that. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Big Show. He clearly just basically rehashes what was said before, how he caught the bro kick of Sheamus that last Raw, and he outpunched basically Sheamus' bro kick on the punching machine. And he's tired of hearing people say in the tweets, 45 seconds, fella. You're not Irish? Why the hell you keep saying that? That was nice. I like that little bit about saying you're not Irish. And he screams for Daniel Bryan to come to the ring so he can wipe that out. Now the backstage with Daniel Bryan and Kane was funny. At least enough that for me it was really light and average, but the Nashville crowd was a bit into this. I can say that most of the crowd was into his entire show in certain ways that was actually quite surprising to me. But when Daniel Bryan said to Kane, hey, can you do the thing you usually do for me? He just laughed his ass off at him. And then everyone starts doing yes to him to pump him up for him to start saying no. I have to say that's a good touch. Because he uses the no so much, this is not only his catchphrase, this is the way he pumps himself up. The match itself was simple. Bryan basically got a couple of good hits in. He did bring the man down, but he got his ass kicked by him. And when Kane comes to the ring and basically laughs, and he's about to get as they call it now, the KO punch. I don't know why they changed it from the WMD to the KO. It was more substantial that way. But still, he did it. He didn't get a chance to hit him because you got Kane jumping in the ring to protect basically Daniel Bryan. And the backstage with that one, Daniel Bryan's angry at Kane, and he says, next time you go up against him next week. You go up against him. Let's see how you like it, and I'll laugh at you. So it looks like next week we're going to have a Kane and Big Show match again. Part of the storyline, normal. Now we have, and this is an interesting thing. I feel sorry for him. Matt Striker with AJ. Oh my goodness. Oof. Matt Striker had already been squashed twice last week, and I wish to apologize that I made a mistake in what I said in my Raw review last time. That I said that Matt Striker got hit first and then got the no lock and the choke slam. And I wish to say clearly that I've said it a couple of times in my videos. I'm still get pretty nervous about this. Even though I look pretty calm, I still get a bit of anxiety. So if I rush through my words a lot of times. As you can see, sometimes I err on my words and have to say sorry. So I apologize. Hopefully, as I do this more often, I'll learn not to be so nervous and rush through my words without fully saying them. Kind of like on automatic your brain is. People know this. But anyway, Matt Striker goes to AJ, and he clearly just says, look, I'm not trying to cause trouble. I know that Josh Matthews got squashed by Kane. I'm only asking for an apology. I'm not asking for anything else. That was crazy what he did, and that was the mistake he made, ladies and gentlemen. You know how AJ don't like that crazy, funky word. She don't like nutty, funky words. She don't like any words that make you sound something like wrong with you. And she throws him into a match with Kane. Now, several things here. One, you can see how Matt Striker's body's changed over the last couple of years. I believe he stopped wrestling maybe about 4 years ago, maybe at least. And he used to have a lot of body mass. He used to be very chiseled out and muscled. He has lost almost all of that muscle. He's still built well, but you can see there's no more chiseled look. He does not wrestle anymore, so he just looks small. So you can see, if anyone ever wondered how wrestlers look when they lose their muscle mass, there's your example with Matt Striker. He looks small. So he basically pleads with Kane. Not surprising. I thought Kane may do something like this, giving him a hug. He did. But when he gave him a second hug, I said, that's going a little too far. What the hell's going on? And he bear hugs him and choke slams him. Pretty standard. The part I thought that was at least interesting for the crowd, even though they didn't cheer very loud, they seemed to be a little into it, was when Kane did his little interview with Matt Striker, saying, so Matt, how did you feel about that exhilarating, great technical match? And he's going, I thought so. Throws the knife down and says, I'm the tag team champions. Cliche, but not bad. Have no problem with it. Now, our next thing here is our first match. And I'm mad about it. ADR and Brodus Clay. Why? I knew when I saw the new group that squashed Brodus Clay that I thought he made job, but I thought, no, they're not going to do this. Then they did Antonio Cesaro versus Brodus Clay. He got squashed. Now ADR. He gets squashed. No theme song for either one of the men. The minute they cut to them, they're already in the ring. And the thing that I say is this, ladies and gentlemen. The thing that people like about Brodus Clay, he's directed towards kids. It's obvious. But there's still a demographic of men who likes to see the dancing. The kids like to dance because they like to see Brodus Clay and the girls. The men like to see the dancing because of the girls. I'm in love with Naomi. I like to see the girls. That was removed. Seeing them on the sidelines, and I wish to say I don't know what's going on. The way that Naomi gave off a look compared to Cameron, like she was very, very concerned about Brodus. Like she was not happy about this situation. I think she was telegraphing that she knows, she's showing that they've been told, all three of them, I'm sorry, you're not being pushed anymore, you're jobbing. So Cameron still plays to what she needs to do. She still tries to make herself happy, surprising, but I think in the beginning, Naomi clearly showed she was not happy about this. Of course, she still had to get back into character, starts cheering and being happy and everything, rooting for Brodus, but I think for one moment, you can honestly see that she now knows she's going to be involved with somebody or somebody's next to Cameron that is going to job now, so she's going to become irrelevant with Brodus and Cameron. Seriously, I hope this is wrong. I hope they start pushing him again. But it's obvious that Brodus is beginning to job. And this is sad. They had gold with Brodus Clay. Gold! As much as people say that this was a stupid gimmick for Brodus Clay, that he shouldn't have been stuck with it, but he made the best of it. Like the Sled Daddy said in one of his videos, what's going on with Brodus Clay? Or what is Brodus Clay? He said it clearly best. And the British Fist wasn't fully behind it. They really didn't know how to feel about it, at least when I saw the videos then. At least near months ago. But I'm saying it like this. When you have someone that is so much over with the kids, even without the girls, and they like the girls, kids like girls, doesn't matter. The men like the girls, that also matters, but he's over that much. They could have already started feuds with him. They could have still kept him in a kid character, you mean, like something the kids would still like, but he could still be interesting enough that the men could get into it, not just with the girls. Jobbing now. They ruined a great opportunity with Brodus Clay. If they pushed him continually, not to say he wouldn't be even close to Rikishi, but he's a similar like a Rikishi character. Remember Grandmaster Sexy, Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty 2 Hotty. In a sense, that's what that is. Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus with the Funkadactyls. That's them. So, they got over big. This group got over very big until now they're being dropped. It's a waste. And ADR could have squashed someone else other than Brodus. So let me move on. Zack Ryder and Santino versus the Primetime Players. Well, the Cobra versus the PTP. I doubt the Cobra is going to be pushed very far. Interesting if it does, but I doubt it. Primetime Players won. Wasn't a bad match. So I'm just going to leave it as that. It looks like the Primetime Players are being pushed. That's at least something. Alright. Now, here we go about this. Dolph and David Otunga. Both of them are almost meaningless. Dolph comes out saying, how come, and he puts over RYBACK, which I thought, RYBACK's coming out. I thought RYBACK was going to squash and flatten Dolph. I was surprised to see David Otunga. I guess they wanted to throw him out there. And then I finally realized what it was by the time the match actually happened. But let me get back to what Dolph said. He said, I deserve this spot. I deserve to be able to have a championship match and still cash in if I want. I deserve better. David Otunga comes out and said, I deserve better because I got the look, I got the brain. AJ, who was prevalent throughout the night, which I'm sick of, she says, you know what, since you're talking about the man that is in question, let's bring him out. And then I thought this, ladies and gentlemen, this was a trial run. Because of what was stated with the contract signing, I thought they have to throw RYBACK out, and I said this more than a few times on either a SmackDown review or a Raw review, that Cena is going to be hurt, and they have no choice now to push RYBACK. Even if this is a test, or if this is for real because of Cena being hurt. They have no choice now because Cena's been in a high position for so long and he's having so many injuries, they got no choice. So I think this was, like I said in one of my videos, the 11th hour chance for RYBACK. They wanted to see how the Nashville crowd was going to respond to RYBACK. Very large. He squashes David Otunga. Dolph Ziggler leaves with his Money in the Bank championship. Everyone was cheering for him and screaming to feed me more. Feed me! You don't even need to do it, baby. I don't. For the simple fact, you got RYBACK very well over the people. And I'll explain how I feel at the end of what is going to happen at the night. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now, we have the Rogue Scholars. No, wait, not yet. Let me see here. Divas Championship. Gonna do this quickly. Why? No point in it. Divas Championship could have been done on Wednesday Night Main Event, or could have been done at Hell in a Cell, which usually there's no build for it. There's no build to this, so I can understand why they just threw it on normal TV. But there was a surprise. Like I said earlier, the Nashville crowd was very surprising. When Eve put Layla in a headlock that was like a submission, almost submission-like. They started cheering, "This is awesome." I'm going, what? I had to replay this a few times and raise the volume to hear if I'm hearing "this is awful" or "this is awesome." They're saying "this is awesome." Why? They were also chanting something else that I couldn't make out, unfortunately. But honestly, there's no build for this. And honestly, Eve wins. This goes along with the storyline. It would have been better if they'd done something more with this, but they didn't. Leaving it at that. It's sad. The next is the Sheamus and Wade Barrett match. Again. Last week, Sheamus wins over basically, no, wait a minute. I think I'm mistaken. Wade Barrett wins over Sheamus because of, I can't believe I'm forgetting here. If the person who is getting attacked, usually they win. So I'm sorry. The one who won last week was Sheamus because he gets attacked by Tensai. I'm sorry. Some reason I blanked out on who wins a match if there's outside interference. This week, a rematch because there was no clear victor. I thought that was good last week because Wade Barrett's trying to be pushed right now, and it sucks that he wasn't. And when I said I gotta redo the Zack Ryder and Santino. I forgot something there, but I'll say this first. With Wade Barrett coming out in regular clothes still sucks. He deserves to be wearing regular clothes. So essentially speaking, the match was similar to the last one and every one they have. They both have very good chemistry in the ring. In the end, Big Show comes out, doesn't hit anybody, but he does pull the ring rope down on Sheamus. Wade Barrett loses, Sheamus wins. Sheamus gets thrown into the ring, and then Bro kicks Wade Barrett. So even though Wade Barrett technically does the job, then he physically does the job. Why? It would have been better for somebody else. You could have gotten someone from Superstars, NXT. It's ridiculous. Why are you squashing a guy who's supposed to be coming back and feeling strong now? And you let him squish, let him job. It's stupid. And with the Big Show getting thrown out of the ring when he tries to jump in after he throws in Sheamus, makes Sheamus look strong, shows that he has possible potential against Big Show, but still, Wade Barrett didn't get anything out of it. It was a waste. Stupid. And I wish to say also for Zack Ryder, and when it came to Santino, after that match with the Primetime Players, I'm sorry I didn't include this with it, you have the group they originally called themselves Encore, the band. Now, after they came in fully dressed in normal street clothes, then goes after Zack Ryder going 1, 2, 3 and beats the shit out of him with a kick. They say now they're the 3MB, the 3-man band. Okay, they're getting pushed. And later in the night, in between the match between, I believe it was, who was it they were in between? The Rogue Scholars and Primo and Epico. I'm going to get to that one next. It was not bad. They were in a bar or a club, wanted to get over that way. That was great. I'm actually quite happy they're doing this with them. They're giving them something to do, and this kind of has like a, what kind of a feel is it? Not even an NWO type of feel, maybe a watered down version of DX or DX Army type of feel. Kind of a watered down version of it, not even close to a DX, but it does have that kind of feel, but they're just doing it in a musical type of sense. That's just for me. Anyone else could see it differently, and I'll more than value your opinion about it, that if I'm wrong, that maybe it's not even, shouldn't be considered, but that's how it feels to me, like a DX kind of a thing, very watered down. So we got the Primo and Epico and Rogue Scholar match with Damien and Cody. I wish to say this. This is how I felt about this match. For more than a few minutes, I actually had this feeling of a nostalgic feeling of having Gorilla Monsoon with maybe Vince McMahon, maybe with the Weasel. Maybe. I'm not sure. It has that kind of feel. An 80s type of style match. And I'm sure a few people are going to say, what? You got to be kidding. This is Primo and Epico. Yes. But the Rogue Scholars, for some reason to me, give off a golden age type of tag team. They did a lot of heavy tagging. They did a lot of double teaming. They kept their opponents in the corner. They didn't play around. It almost had either a Killer Bee type of feel or a very distant Heart Foundation kind of feel, where they go into the ring and they do their business. Yeah, they'll do a couple of basically scowls at people, but that's how it felt to me. That's the feeling I got when it came to the Rogue Scholars. They're giving off an 80s type of tag team feel. That's great, at least for me. If they keep these two together, prominently feature them, and then put the straps on them, I really believe that the tag team division will get a very strong type of push. It'll give a good feel that people may actually get into. That's how I felt about it. At the end, it felt fine. It felt just like an 80s tag team. It felt like a golden age match, even though you had Primo and Epico in there. They did a good job. Don't get me wrong. They're good luchador type style wrestlers, and they did great. But Damien and Cody give off that type of feeling. If anyone else has that type of feeling, leave a comment below. I really want to know if I'm nuts or something that they give off an 80s type of tag team feel. Now, we got the mixed TV segment. This, honestly, was surprising. Miz TV is basically a rehashing of every other type of segment. You got Piper's Pit, you got the highlight reel, you got the cutting edge, you got the peep show, all of them. No problem with it. This time, at least with this particular Miz TV, when he brought in Kofi, there was a problem. And it was a shocking one. They honestly said how Kofi has been treated. Dude, I was shocked about how Miz was saying you're nothing but a B-star. And then worse yet for Kofi, JR and basically Michael Cole said, yeah, you're right. He has this type of, one of them has this type of feel that he hasn't been pushed to his potential. Why not? Randy Orton screwed him over by 2009. You honestly just said how badly Kofi has been fucked over. You just said it. Not only in the segment in the ring, but in the segment outside the ring. I was surprised they did this. And Kofi, honestly, even though he's tried to stay in character, he looked generally pissed off. And I don't blame him. He's in mid-card hell. They're throwing the IC title at him again. He's already had it 4 times, ladies and gentlemen. Once the U.S. title, 4 times the IC title, and roughly 2 times the the tag team title championship strap. I'm sorry I got a little mixed up here because it's upsetting. And then when the match came along, and the commentators were doing the same thing again. And JR, I'm not mad at JR for what he did. I'm not. He was just being truthful. But the truth hurts. If anyone is a fan of Kofi Kingston, where you thought that Kofi by 2010 was going to get a massive push into the title picture, where he could have won the title of the World Championship first, and then the WWE Championship. If he couldn't win the WWE Championship, if it couldn't be for that, he's more than able to take the world strap. But get this, they didn't do it. And this match clearly stated it. He didn't really botch very much at all, which was fine. The match was fine until the end. Oh damn, I feel sorry for Miz. That when Miz got thrown into the ring rope, and basically the Trouble in Paradise catch him straight in the face, he got gently cut open in the head. He actually got hurt. But I'm sure he'll be fine by Wednesday main event, which makes no sense. Why are you putting this on Open TV? You could have put the Divas Championship on Open TV. That would have been easier. Let a Divas title match be on there instead of on Monday Night Raw. Or the U.S. Championship. Put it on there. Let Antonio Cesaro be seen on Ion Television. I can get Ion TV here. That's one of the few channels I actually can see with a digital antenna. But honestly, it could have been better. So, let me see if there's anything else here. Going through that. Let me see here. Antonio Cesaro. Almost forgot. With Justin Gabriel. Short match. Justin gets the elbow of destruction. Antonio still feels meaningless. Leave it at that. And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, the contract signing. In the middle of the night, you had Cena and RYBACK meet Vincent McMahon, and he said he would take their attitude in consideration. When it came to Punk and McMahon in the ring, Punk saying that you're nothing but an egomaniac. You got McMahon calling in both competitors that will be chosen, RYBACK and Cena. I've said it already more than a few times in my other reviews. RYBACK is being pushed because, and I understand what the Off the Rope show said in the Slug Daddy. I'm sure that he's probably right that they're teasing this, letting RYBACK get his shot to see how the people are going to feel about it. I felt like that in the beginning. Them pushing the way they did with RYBACK in the beginning felt like they're trying to tease it to see if he can handle it. But I said in one of my videos at the 11th hour, as I said again in this video, that they were making a decision to give this to RYBACK or not, because I really have this feeling that either John Cena is injured more than he's stating, or he just needs to deal with his life that he has been working constantly for many years. I understand, if I'm correct or not, he's just been divorced from his new wife, which is sad, who wants to lose a marriage. I know I had one. And maybe he just feels a little burnt out and needs some time off, next to whatever injuries he has. But essentially speaking, I said this in my videos, RYBACK is being pushed and he may go into Hell in a Cell. By the time this is over and you see Cena putting over RYBACK, saying simply, you know what, CM Punk? I'm after the championship, but this man here just wants to kick your ass. So you know what? You need an ass kicking. And only 3 words are needed, pointing and looking directly at RYBACK. Feed me more. Starting the chants throughout the entire Nashville arena crowd. Oh my goodness. When I saw this, I said, I couldn't believe I was right. That was the thought that flew from my head. I cannot believe I'm right. How could I be right? Dude, I mean, I got a good idea. I had a good understanding and reasoning about it. And I'm glad I'm right. And I hope everyone is saying, oh, you're right. Good. Don't be surprised at yourself. But still, I'm a novice. And finding I'm right, and then seeing that RYBACK literally flips the table and then basically shell shocks CM Punk, I'm going, oh man, this is a shocker. The grade for this match, for the grade for this show is a C. Flat C. I'm going to leave it as that. But I do have last thing to say about this with RYBACK. Here's the question that I'm going to probably put in the title. Is RYBACK ready? This is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Is he ready? RYBACK right now has been pushed for about 5 to 6 months. And the question is this. Is he ready? I don't think he's ready for this. This is what I think is going to happen at Hell in a Cell. I hope I'm wrong. It would be a nice shocker. RYBACK is going to do a good showing. I still believe Punk is going to retain. We'll see RYBACK for maybe a couple more months. And then, as what happened with many people who have been pushed in WWE, like even with John Cena, he'll be seen for a while, then they're going to drop him like a stone and see what happens then. They're just like the Off the Rope show says and the Slug Daddy says, even I heard Mr. Rouse say at Tasteless Tony T, they usually pull the rug out from their own wrestlers and just drop them. Now the question is this, Will they do this? Or are they going to keep him prominent? My guess is, if he does not win at Hell in a Cell, the possibility for him being prominently featured afterward is a question mark, because they may just pull the rug out from under him and just let him drop for a while, then see if the people are going to still be interested in him when he's rebuilt up. Now, if he does win the strap, that's going to be a shocker, because then we're going to have a question mark. What's going to happen with Cena? If Cena's not wrestling for a while, will he be gone? I know I said he probably needs some time off, and he probably will get it. But it's also a possibility, like what happened with Stone Cold Steve Austin, that he was physically not capable of wrestling at all. He was allowed to stay in the back and do other things other than wrestle. Use his charisma in other types of ways. So that's going to be a question with John Cena. So my assumption of this show is a C, and I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you like this Zane's View. Subscribe and comment, and you have a good day.